This, as you probably know, is my garage studio. Today, I'm going to do a bit of a tour of this space, my editing station upstairs, what I've changed, why I've changed it, and how I make use of both spaces to make better work faster. There's a lot here that isn't flashy: desks, risers, stands, even a Persian rug, but these are the bits that end up deciding whether I have a clean, productive day or I'm faffing around with distractions. So if you're building out your own space, hopefully there'll be ideas here you can steal, and maybe some things you'll do differently. So first, let's go upstairs. My editing workstation lives in the corner of the living space. It's quite a small footprint, and I built around that constraint rather than fighting it. The desk base is an older Flexispot set of sit-stand legs. The birch-ply desktop is something that I cut myself to fit the slightly narrower profile of the space, and then sealed it with wax. Though it's a sit-stand base, I tend not to actually stand at it, but I do like to have the desk higher than ordinary desk height. I just find that works much more comfortable. It allows me to sit a bit higher. The whole thing just is very tunable to your own posture and height, which is fantastic. On top of that, I've got the Bololo setup cockpit. It's a desk riser. It sounds kind of fancy, but basically it's just a nicely made shelf, and it lifts the monitor and gives a little bit of space for storage underneath. It adds a second layer, basically, to any ordinary desk. My new M3 Ultra Max Studio sits under the shelf, and the studio display sits on it. The whole thing feels quite compact rather than cramped, which is really good in this space in particular. And if I need to, I can keep the keyboard, trackpad, iPad all tucked out of the way if I want to actually work on the desk or write anything or scribble notes. It's really good for that. I find for me in particular, having a calm and orderly workspace really helps make my mind and probably the work that I produce calm, orderly, and controlled. Mileage may vary. I've seen people make fantastic work and you look at their workspaces and it's absolute chaos. Audio monitoring is through a pair of KEF LSXs, angled in slightly so that I'm in the sweet spot pocket-wise, and they're the right size for the room. They've got the accuracy and clarity I need to review client work mixes, and I completely trust the sound that they give me. I also keep an iPad on a little Bololo extension stand off to one side. Sometimes I use it as a mirror, sometimes to extend the screen onto for notes, and quite often I find myself at the moment just putting the brief on it so that I can scroll around without having to alt-tab between windows and pages like a bit of a maniac. It's one of those nice-to-have bits, and you can use the pencil if you've got one, but when you start getting used to using it and integrating it into the workflow, you quickly become dependent on it. On the corner closest to the wall, I've clamped a generic pole, and onto that I can fit various grip or rigging extensions. At the moment I've got a 9 solutions arm with a monitor on so I can see myself, and also a magic clamp and extended arm with the cameras on, just to space it away from the wall a little bit. It's a bit of an anything post, but I keep it there permanently so it's quick to set up and rig things so that it makes my workflow up here, for YouTube in particular, as easy as possible. One of the things that you quickly find if you're making content regularly, that can be quite off-putting if you're always having to set up kit every time. So being able to keep a space at least partially set up really goes a long way to making it easy. Opposite the desk, all my networking gear lives together. The UNAS Pro, the switch, the cabling. I've talked about the NAS before, and that and the network stack is very much the backbone for my entire workflow. It's where I do all my backups, it's where shared projects live. Having it over there means it's not under my feet, so the desk is where I work, and the hum, the status lights, the cable spaghetti live all the way over there on their own little island, and I get my little workspace back. I'm currently sat in a Flexispot Sheer for long edit days where it's 8 hours, maybe a break for food, and then working straight through into the night because you're completely locked in. I found that it's a big difference between feeling absolutely knackered at the end of it and feeling like you're ready to go again tomorrow. It's supportive, it's breathable. I like to think I've got quite good posture, and this helps me maintain that. You really feel like you're sat up, but not in an uncomfortable way. I really rate it. Lighting at the desk is a bit of a wild card. I like using daylight. We live on the coast and have a very maritime weather system. When I film an open channel at the desk, the lighting is changing all the time. So I've got a shower curtain hung in front of the window as a diffuser, proper filmmaker behavior, and it works fantastically. I'm eyeing up a little Amaran key light to lock in a consistent look, but in the meantime, this is all I need. There's something I would quite like up here though. I'd love a second studio display. But because I built this desk for this corner, to fit a second studio monitor in properly, I would likely have to make a new, slightly longer top. It's on the cards, not urgent, and so for now, this is quite a good balance between footprint and function. Anyway, let's go downstairs and have a proper look at the home studio. So here's the garage in its normal configuration. Tools, cases, stands, laundry, the usual controlled chaos. And then if I deploy the backdrop that Meg painted, suddenly the room expands on camera. It's a bit of a magic trick. I'll show you. The texture and depth do something really lovely to skin and shadows. So if you've only ever shot against white walls, try a painted muslin or canvas and you'll never go back. My key light is an Amaran F21 bicolor panel. It's flat, reliable, dims infinitely, and it's wide enough to be soft without taking up too much space in the room. And for character, I had a little Amaran COB into a Bowens mount spotlight. And what that does is just give the backdrop a little bit of a shape. And it's become a bit of a signature look for the channel. Just enough drama to feel intentional without being over the top or too distracting. Small spaces often rely on that sort of precision. You can't rely on distance to make the light interesting, so sculpting it has to do all the work. At the end of the day, it's a garage. Concrete, hard walls, metal shelving, not much soft stuff at all. I've rolled out a Persian rug, which is small and surprisingly effective, which just knocks the edge off the harsh reverb. But I'm aiming for clear dialogue that's clean and consistent, and this will only get me so far. To get the rest of the way, I use Clear from Supertone, which is a fantastic audio plugin. One of the things I really want to do is a bit more tabletop and product work. Hero shots. Top-down builds, rig walkthroughs, and if you work solo, the bottleneck tends not to be the camera, it's the surface. You need a platform that's always there, rock solid, the right height for the shot, and also a different height for the next one. That's where the Flexispot E7 Pro comes in as a proper upgrade down here. It's my new product surface, big enough to work around, strong enough that nothing wobbles when I rack focus, and adjustable so I can go from standing to top down in seconds. I've done top downs before, balancing a board across a couple of work stands, and it works. But it's flexed and the whole shot had that slightly homemade tension. Is it going to do something I'm not expecting? The E7 Pro has 0 flex and 0 play. You push on it and nothing gives. I can leave the slider on one edge, a monitor on the other, and still have space to build a rig in the middle. If you shoot product alone, the surface is your cam op, your grip, your best mate. If you're enjoying this, 2 small favours. First, have a look at my Instagram. It's @JackFilmed. I post behind the scenes clips, test frames, and the odd Cornish sea moment that never makes it to YouTube. It's where you'll see experiments before they become episodes. And second, if you found one idea you're going to steal today, tap subscribe. I'm here every week and it genuinely helps. With product work, height is king. Being able to take the E7 Pro from build height to camera height without rebuilding the entire shot is absolutely the trick. So if I'm building a rig, I'll keep it at a comfortable standing height so my back isn't in bits, like from a long day camera operating. And then when I'm ready to film, I can drop the desk to exactly where I want it without having to faff around with zoom or camera height. It's all on the button. The E7 Pro is much more likely to make that fun rather than fiddly, which in turn means I'm much more likely to actually do it. Links to the key bits I've mentioned, the Flexispot gear, the Amaran lights, the 9 Solutions arm, and a couple of other bits will be in the description. If you pick anything up through those, it helps the channel at no extra cost to you. And thank you. I'm Jack, and as ever, whatever this is, whatever that is upstairs, I'm calling it all Western approaches. So thanks for watching and see you next time.